Let's be honest, whether or not you call watches an investment, the market clearly thinks they are. Back in 2017, a Paul Newman Rolex Daytona sold for $17.8 million at the Phillips auction house in New York. That one sale didn't just break records, it changed the game entirely. Suddenly, watches weren't just about style or heritage, they were about value. Yes, vintage pieces have always been worth money, but now, thanks to social media and YouTube, the spotlight is bigger than ever. And it's not just vintage anymore. Modern watches are getting attention too. In 2025, more and more collectors are asking, if I buy this, will it go up in value? For some, it's a bonus. For others, it's the reason they buy. Either way, value matters, so stick around as we take a look at 21 watches that are holding strong, and the ones that might be worth more than just time. Why do people invest in watches? Before we dive in, let's take a look at why people invest in watches. Beanie Babies, baseball cards, comic books, you name it, collectors love chasing the rare stuff. It's how we stand out. Same rules apply to watches. Rarity drives value. Always has, always will. But when we're spending thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, it's not just about the thrill of the hunt. It's about knowing two things. Number one, what makes this watch special to you? And number two, what's it worth if you ever need to sell? That's where collecting starts to overlap with investing. Watches have become a legitimate way to diversify wealth, just like fine art or classic cars. Some people chase profit, others just like knowing their money's safe on the wrist. Either way, it's smart to understand the value equation. How to choose the best investment watches. None of us have a crystal ball, unfortunately, and we can't predict the future. But we can make some pretty solid guesses based on what the market's done before. The reason I say this? Well, if you study enough past hits, you'll start to see the patterns. And those patterns tell us what kinds of watches tend to hold or even grow in value over time. So, what makes a good investment watch? Let's break it down. Rarity. We've said it before, but it's worth repeating. Low supply equals high demand. Whether it's a limited edition timepiece, a discontinued watch, or just something hard to find, scarcity drives value. Watches are personal and collectors love owning something no one else has. The more unique or expressive the piece, the more someone's willing to pay. Condition. Scratches, damaged crystals, replaced parts, it all affects the resale value. Think of it like this. A vintage 1680 Rolex Red Submariner with a cracked crystal won't fetch nearly as much as one in mint condition. Collectors care. A lot. Authenticity. This goes hand in hand with condition. Is it all original? Has it been serviced? Do you have the box and papers? Missing documentation or swapped out parts can significantly reduce a watch's value. It's important to remember originality is everything when you're spending thousands of dollars on a timepiece. Heritage. Some watches come with stories, and that matters. Maybe it went to the moon. Maybe it served in the military. Maybe it helped break a record. If a watch is tied to history or innovation, it adds weight to its value and makes collectors fall harder. X factor. This one's trickier, but just as important. It's that extra something. That it factor. Think of a Tiffany-stamped dial, a Rolex with a domino logo, or a Daytona once worn by Paul Newman himself. It might be weird, it might be niche, but that uniqueness, that's what can push a watch into legend territory. Which are the best watch brands to invest in? So which brands make the best investment watches? The simple answer? Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and among independents, names like FP Journe and Exquisite are hot right now. The more honest answer? Great investment pieces can come from anywhere. Swatch, Seiko, even ultra high ends like Philippe Dufour or Roger W. Smith. It all depends on the model. And the real answer? Any watch worth investing in will usually tick a few key boxes: rarity, condition, heritage, and that ever-elusive X factor. These brands often have wait lists a mile long, deep roots in watchmaking history, and a growing following among serious collectors. That momentum builds demand, often without the brand even trying. And when that happens, value follows. The 21 best investment watches of 2025 for your consideration. Number 1. Rolex GMT Master II, reference 16710. A staple in Rolex's steel sports lineup, the 16710 represents the end of an era. Produced from 1989 to 2007, it's the last of the true tool watch GMTs before Rolex leaned into luxury-focused updates like ceramic bezels and chunkier cases. It comes in 3 iconic bezel configurations: Pepsi, red blue, Coke, black red, and all black. Sized at 40 millimeters with a 12.4 millimeter thickness and classic proportions, it's ideal for collectors who prefer vintage sizing over modern bulk. A collector will find a few iterations within the 16710 model line. The Swiss T25 dial with tritium hour markers and hands pre-1995, the transitional Swiss-only dial dated to 1999, and the Swiss-made dial featuring superluminova hour markers and hands from 2000 onwards. For anyone looking for a practical yet collectible Rolex GMT, the 16710 is a smart play. Number 2. Patek Philippe Nautilus 5711. Once overlooked, now legendary, the 5711 launched in 2006 and quietly existed until integrated bracelet sports watches exploded in popularity. Discontinued in 2021, the steel 5711 has become one of the most sought-after modern watches thanks to its 40mm case, 8.3mm thickness, and that unmistakable Genta design, often fetching 6x its MSRP on the secondary market. It's the poster child for modern investment watches. Number 3. Rolex Submariner, reference 114060. The Submariner needs no introduction. Being the last of the 40mm case-size Submariners, the 114060 actually came out a year after its date steel counterpart. With a shorter production run than its date-equipped sibling, it still offers strong future potential. It's also fascinating to know that among its evolutionary line, the 114060 is still a particularly interesting watch from an investment standpoint. Number 4. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 15202 Jumbo. The 15202 is the closest thing to owning the original steel Royal Oak. Launched in 2012 and discontinued in 2021, this reference pays tribute to Gerald Genta's design with a 39mm case and ultra-slim 8.1mm profile. Powered by the legendary Calibre 2021 and offered in multiple metals, the steel 15202 ST is the most iconic and most collectible. It's the definition of a grail in the luxury sports watch world. Number 5. Omega Speedmaster First Omega in Space. Reference 311.32.40.30.01.001. As a tribute to astronaut Wally Schirra's Speedmaster CK2998, the FOIS was launched in 2012 and discontinued in 2020. This watch also holds the title of the first Omega watch in space, dating back to October 3, 1962 on the Mercury Atlas 8 mission. It features a 39.7mm case and straight lugs, with a vintage-inspired design, a short production window, and around 15,000 to 16,000 units made. This is one timepiece that collectors are beginning to chase. Number 6. Patek Philippe Aquanaut 5968G-010. Let's talk about a modern heavyweight, the Aquanaut 5968G. John Mayer famously called the Aquanaut the Chuck Taylors of Patek Philippe. And honestly, that's the perfect description. It's bold, sporty, and if you're lucky enough to get your hands on one, congrats. Even the rubber strap is collectible. This khaki green version is a flyback chronograph in solid white gold. It's got the 42.2mm case, 11.9mm thickness, and a dial that's been described as grenade-like for its texture and depth. It's rugged, but still screams high-end finishing. While the Nautilus gets all the spotlight, the Aquanaut quietly combines old-school Patek craftsmanship with youthful, modern energy. And that's why it's one of the most in-demand pieces on the market right now. Number 7. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Chronograph. Reference 26470OR.0000OR.01. This timepiece is not for the faint-hearted. It's a full pink gold offshore chronograph from Audemars Piguet with its case, bracelet, dial, all dripping in precious metal. It's 42mm wide, 14.6mm thick, and water-resistant to 100 meters. This watch is massive, muscular, and still manages to look refined. AP uses the Offshore line as a playground for bold designs, new materials, and limited editions. On this model, you'll find ceramic pushers, a sapphire caseback, and finishing that reminds you why AP is a top-tier brand. Is it loud? Absolutely. But it's also incredibly well-crafted. In terms of investment, sometimes you need to spend money to make money, and the Offshore is indeed one fun way to do it. Number 8. Vacheron Constantin Overseas 4500V Brown Dial. When the third generation Overseas launched in 2016, it marked a big step forward for Vacheron. But here's the real gem, the brown dial version. It has a 41mm stainless steel case, 11mm thickness, anti-magnetic protection up to 25,000 AM, and comes with interchangeable straps, bracelet, leather, or rubber. The brown dial model dropped a few months after launch and then quietly disappeared just a year later. That makes it one of the rarest modern Overseas variants. Plus, let's be honest, there aren't nearly enough brown dials that look this good. Number 9. Rolex Cosmograph Daytona, reference 116500LN. Here's a twist. The Daytona wasn't always a hit. Back in the 70s and 80s, Rolex had a hard time selling them. Some were bundled with gold Datejusts just to move stock. Crazy, right? Fast forward to now, and the ceramic Panda Daytona is one of the hardest watches to get, period. Powered by the in-house Calibre 4130, it has a 40mm case in 904L oyster steel and wears more like 39mm on the wrist. It's compact, clean, and built to last. Between the racing heritage, celebrity hype, Q Paul Newman, and Rolex's quiet evolution, this Daytona has become a modern legend. It's hyped, but it also delivers. Number 11. Omega Speedmaster Alaska Project, reference 311.32.42.30.04.001. NASA once had a problem. How do you build a watch that survives space? Not just floating in orbit, but the far side of the moon. Omega's answer? The Alaska Project. In 2008, Omega re-released this legendary Speedmaster in a limited run of 1,970 pieces. It features a crisp white dial and comes with a giant red anodized aluminum heat shield. Add it on, and the watch can handle temperatures from -145 degrees Celsius to +250 degrees Celsius. Yes, seriously. Inside is the same Calibre 1861 movement used in the professional line, but the look is anything but standard. Big, bold, and deeply tied to Omega's space heritage. This is a grail for serious speedy fans. Number 8. Rolex Daytona, John Mayer. Here's the story of how a single celebrity turned this watch into a sensation. The Rolex Daytona 116508 was flying under the radar. Solid yellow gold with a bright green dial. Not exactly subtle.
There, and you care about what my picks are. The green dial gold Daytona is still out there, still floating around, and it's the future thing that I think people are gonna go, why didn't we know? Because look, if we're constantly looking back, going, why didn't we know? There have to be future iterations of why didn't we know that we can act on now.
But then John Mayer showed it off in a collector video, called it a future classic, and boom, overnight, it became the Daytona to own. Ever since, this piece has been surrounded by discontinuation rumors. Each year, prices creep up. Turns out, John was right. The John Mayer Daytona has earned its nickname and its place in investment watch circles. Number 12. Omega Seamaster 300 Spectre, reference 233.32.41.21.01.001.
What's the last thing for you?
Does it do anything?
It tells the time.
James Bond's watch has always been cool, but this one takes it to a new level. The Seamaster 300 Spectre edition was released for the 2015 Bond film. It's based on Omega's 1950s CK2913, with straight lugs and a broad arrow dial. Inside, it runs the coaxial Calibre 8400, limited to just 7,007 pieces. It combines vintage design with modern tech and carries the legacy of both Bond and Omega's dive watch heritage. Subtle, stylish, and very collectible. Number 13. Richard Mille, RM055, Bubba Watson. This isn't your average sports watch. The RM055 was designed with professional golfer Bubba Watson, and it shows. It's built from high-tech materials like titanium, rubber, carbon fiber, sapphire, and ceramic. The skeletonized tonneau case gives it that signature Richard Mille look. Futuristic, lightweight, and ridiculously tough. Even though it's made to take a beating, the finishing is top-level haute horology. It's bold, expressive, and definitely made for the spotlight. Number 14. Patek Philippe Nautilus 5980-1R. Looking for a Patek that oozes power? Meet the 5980-1R. It's an 18-karat rose gold flyback chronograph with a 40.5mm case and 12.2mm thickness. It used to only come on a leather strap until this solid gold bracelet version dropped. Unsized, it weighs over 250 grams. Powered by the CH28-520C movement and water-resistant to 120 meters, this watch is built like a luxury tank. Bold, heavy, and impossible to ignore. It's a centerpiece watch in every way with a 45-hour power reserve. Number 15. Richard Mille RM27-04 Rafael Nadal. If you've ever wondered what a $1 million watch looks like, here it is. Made for tennis legend Rafael Nadal. The RM27-04 features a suspended tourbillon held in place by stainless steel mesh and gold tension cables. With just 50 pieces made, this watch can handle over 12,000 Gs of force. This is cutting-edge engineering wrapped in a wild, futuristic design. A mechanical marvel and a collector's dream. Number 16. IWC Ingenieur SL Jumbo, reference 1832. Here's the Genta design that deserves more love. The Ingenieur SL Jumbo features everything you'd expect from Girard Genta. Integrated bracelet, 40mm tonneau-shaped case, 5-hole bezel, and a unique guilloche dial. It's the lesser-known sibling of the Royal Oak and Nautilus, but no less important. And for collectors, that under-the-radar status, that's part of the appeal. Number 17. Tudor Submariner 7928. Tudor was never just Rolex's little brother, and the 7928 proves it. Released in 1959, this was Tudor's first Submariner with crown guards and a larger 39mm case. It stayed in production for a decade with several variants, but the rarest? The MK1 with square crown guards. Only about 100 are known to exist. With real military ties and vintage Rolex DNA, this Tudor has become a grail in its own right. Number 18. Girard-Perregaux Laureato 42 Infinity Edition. The Laureato Infinity Edition was released with just 188 pieces worldwide in 2020, in partnership with WEMP. It's 42mm wide, 10.7mm thick, and comes with a steel case, 100-meter water resistance, and a 54-hour power reserve. But the star of the show? The deep black onyx dial, offset by pink gold markers. It's stealthy, refined, and already catching the eyes of serious collectors. Number 19. FP Journe Elegante 48. This one rewrites the quartz rulebook. The Elegante 48 by FP Journe is powered by the Calibre 1210, a movement that goes to sleep after 35 minutes and remembers the time. As soon as you move your wrist, it springs back into action. Battery life? 8 to 10 years with regular use, and up to 18 years in sleep mode. Add Journe's signature finishing and design, and you've got a futuristic timepiece wrapped in horological craftsmanship. This is the quartz revolution done right. Number 20. Tudor Prince Day Date. Classy, practical, and flying under the radar, the Tudor Prince Day Date debuted in 1952 and carried the brand for decades. Classically styled, the Prince Day Date features an oyster-style case with a Jubilee bracelet and the unmistakable day wheel at 12 o'clock, with a traditional style date and date magnifier at 3 o'clock. It's now discontinued but still available on the market, and as Tudor's reputation continues to grow, these neo-vintage gems are gaining new attention. I'd say this is definitely a low-key winner. Number 21. Lange & Söhne Datograph Up-Down Lumen. This is what happens when German engineering meets luminous creativity. The Datograph Up-Down Lumen is the fourth watch in Lange's Lumen series. It features a semi-transparent dial, outsized date, power reserve indicator, and flyback chronograph all glowing in the dark. Its platinum case is 41mm wide and 13.4mm thick, powered by the manually wound L951.7 movement with a 60-hour reserve. The finishing? Next level. Collectors love the idea of pairing this technical beauty with a smoked sapphire dial mod, turning it into something even more special. Some people hear the word investment and roll their eyes, but here's something to remember. Most watches that hold value are also the ones that tell a great story. They're rare, well-designed, and full of history, and that's exactly what makes them exciting to collect. Thinking about watches as assets doesn't kill the fun. It actually helps you understand why certain pieces matter and why they stand the test of time. At the end of the day, the best investments are the ones you actually love to wear. Because if you can enjoy it now and it grows in value later, that's a win-win, wouldn't you say?
Thanks for joining us. If you're in the market to buy a watch, Exquisite Timepieces is an authorized dealer for more than 60 luxury watch brands, including Omega, Seiko, Grand Seiko, Hublot, Oris, Lange, along with the rest of the great high-end watch brands. Visit our website at exquisitetimepieces.com, call us at 239-227-2932, or come in and shop our store location in Naples, Florida.